There's two more bodies gone that I'd prefer to be down on that side of the field. And I've said earlier, I just feel the referees have been putting under way too much pressure. Stop this madness of sending off for this. If it's blatant and it's dangerous, send off. So it is. Otherwise, let's get back to what we're doing. The game is in pretty good nick, and I'm hearing that they're coming out with one or two rules to improve it. I think last year was one of the best years I ever seen, so I don't know what we need to improve. It just doesn't make sense.
And we will get to the red cards in a little while, but let's start off, first of all, with Limerick and the two standout players from what you could see this afternoon.
Yeah, look, I often wonder in terms of second season syndrome, but the way Aaron Gallan has kicked on, 116 during the week from Mary and Fitzgibbon, and just a real predator now, an assassin, like just beautifully taken goal. We were raving about Patrick Horgan in the last match. You just watch this, how he takes it into him, has a quick look across the field, sees there any options, then swings it over his shoulder brilliantly. And all part, I suppose, of how Limerick play is in terms of the depth of the half forward, and looked at it last year, David Dempsey, Tom Morrissey, and allowing Diarmuid Burns almost stay his own as a right half back, which he did all year. And Declan Hannon just throws it out to him. And again, because Gallan is such a threat in the air, he's able to go long over Kevin Foley and his threat in the air, and he's very unlucky to be harshly pulled for a free here. And Limerick can do that. The outball is always there regardless of how a team plays against them. Sean Finn again, look at the methodical build up here. Little ball to Donald O'Donovan. Watch for Hegarty's influence here. Just beautiful touch for a big man, lovely hands. Richie English allowed to go forward, wins a free. And I thought Hegarty operating between D to D all day in terms of what he could do. Here he's an overlap, maybe in a more important game. He's an overlap there if he wants to, just taps it over. And his work ethic and what he brings to the game in terms of his, his coverage, I'd imagine, in terms of the metres covered at GPS level, huge.
He took it easy in Cancun, yeah.
And yet, despite this performance and despite this system that clearly works for Limerick, Wexford had all these chances at the end. So did they work out a way around it?
Wexford were good, Joanne. This was the game of the weekend, really, in lots of ways. There was a real intensity. But look, if you want to get past this Limerick half-back line, you've got to do things like what Conor McDonald did there. Go up and catch the ball, turn, and their support there. And you saw the three half-back line completely taken out of it. We have a double overlap. Like David Dunn is the chance off the post, but Jack O'Connor is in there. And, right at the end then, it looked like maybe Cancun was catching up to Limerick. But credit to Wexford, like, they really stayed at the process. Great score by Harry Keogh here. Like, Conor McDonald, how crucial is he? And when Lee Chin comes back, high enough puck out by Nicky. Tom Connon doesn't control it first time, back to a point. And they had chances after this. Paul Morris had a wide. This, to me, was Diarmuid O'Keefe indulging himself in a little bit of a lotto shot when in there in front of McDonald. Could have been a goal out of it, or certainly an equaliser. But you have to say how unlucky they were here. A brilliant bit of play, but it was Route 1. We talk about building from the back, but sometimes when you have a wind at your back in Wexford Park, Dunbar wins it, gives it inside. What a first touch. I mean, it was a brilliant volley off the post. Liam McGovern follows up. Couple of steps, all right, but Nicky stands up well in the goal, and that wins them the game, and they'll be thrilled. We're talking about Cork going home in the bus. That's a big win away from home. Now Wexford will take an awful lot out of it as well. They were of the beaten teams, they were the most competitive by a long shot.
And yet an awful lot of the talk about today's match and last night's match in Semple Stadium is going to be around sendings off. So Shamey Flanagan for Limerick and Liam Ryan both sent off. Your thoughts?
Yeah, look, Shamey probably overreacted to a slight little nudge by Liam on he nudged someone out over the sideline, and like it just got all. There was lots of jabbing. I think Fergal Horgan's attitude, Joanne, might have been that it went on so long, there was so many involved that somebody had to walk.
Well, did somebody not deserve to walk?
Yeah, I think when that happens and it holds up the whole thing, and we don't want to see stuff like that.
Yeah, look, for me, Shamey is the instigator there in terms of a jab into the back of Liam Ryan. And for me, it's a case of Liam Ryan should get a yellow. It's jostling after that, but Shamey Flanagan a red for me in terms of, I see a real ambiguity there. I see it's very hazy there in terms of, I can't see any way you could, ascertain that both deserved a red there. For me, Seamus was the instigator. He was the perpetrator, if you like. Liam reacted to it. He should have got a yellow, and Seamus should have got a red.
He did give a slight nudge. It was Cian Lynch, and Shamey overreacted.
But anybody else? Because there were a lot of people. We saw Colin Ryan, who had the 9 on his back, go in. We could see movement from the hurley from him.
We could see that. It was a jab, I suppose, trying into mid-drift. So maybe, OK, it's not right, but we couldn't see an awful lot of the ones that were going on inside, like with the camera angle, So all we could see was a mass of bodies, and there was lots of jabbing going on. I don't think there was any wild striking in there. 2 reds, I suppose. Liam Ryan will probably be feeling I didn't really deserve a red for this.
OK, well, we'll probably have more on red cards from this weekend. We certainly will a little bit later, but we're going to